So when people learn that I own my own claw machine, one of the first questions I usually get is, aren't those things rigged? Well, the answer to that is, it depends.
Except for the rare cases when somebody's just giving prizes away, arcade machines have to earn their keep, taking in more money than they give out in the form of plush toys or whatever. There's three variables in that calculation: the average cost of each prize, the cost per play, and the average number of plays it takes to win a prize. The cost per play multiplied by the number of plays it takes to win has to exceed the average prize value by a pretty healthy amount in order to pay for overhead and earn back the purchase price of the machine in the first place. As prizes get more expensive, the cost per play, the difficulty in winning, or both have to go up. A machine that's filled with big, high-quality licensed toys like Marvel Superhero or Pokemon plush is going to be on the higher end of the scale, while one of those play-until-you-win machines that only costs 50 cents to play has to be stocked with small, nasty stuff that costs far less than 50 cents each in bulk. Getting back to the original question, since the operator can decide what kinds of prizes to put in and how much each play costs, the big variable is going to be how hard it is to win. With claw machines, there's two distinct categories of games. My machine is a classic rainbow toy house. You'll also see them under the Sugarloaf brand name. They're everywhere, in places like Walmart entrances, Denny's waiting areas, and arcades both big and small. In fact, mine came from a Pizza Hut that went out of business. They're easy to distinguish by the curved joystick housing on the front of the machine. Pretty much all the Rainbow/Sugarloaf games use that same design. On these old-school machines, the difficulty is controlled by two settings. One is how much voltage the machine applies to the gripper mechanism, and the other is how much of a gap there is between the ends of the claws. Once these two parameters are set, they don't change between plays. On a machine like mine, how many tries it takes to win comes down to how the prizes are positioned and the skill of the player. Somebody who's really good will absolutely win more often than somebody who doesn't have a lot of practice, or goes for prizes that are in a difficult spot or that are simply positioned wrong. The other category are newer smart games that change difficulty on the fly. The most infamous example are E-Lot E-Claw machines, which have a machine front that's made from rounded translucent plastic backlit with changing lights. They're very easy to recognize, but there are plenty of other brands that operate in a more or less similar way. Players often refer to these claws as being on a payout, where they only let the player win after a certain number of tries, and while that's an oversimplification, it's more or less correct. It's a little-known fact that for almost every arcade prize machine you'll ever come across, a properly worded internet search will very quickly provide you with the owner's manual. Because I'm a huge nerd, I have a lot of these manuals saved on my computer. Now, the E-Claw manual is a dense 25-page document, and in addition to setup and troubleshooting, a big portion of it is devoted to how to program the machine to deliver a consistent payback. Basically, you plug in values for prize cost, cost per play, and the desired profit margin, and the machine does the rest. Unlike my simple toy house machine, E-Claw cranes actually detect how much force is required to pick up a prize, and can tell when a prize drops into the chute. And not only can they control how often they drop a prize before it gets to the top and makes its way over to the chute, the owner can even set how high it goes up before it releases in order to tease the player. Now, a lot of people interpret this as the machine being rigged, or that it's simply a case of a certain number of failed attempts between the claw being at full strength, but it's more sophisticated than that. The game remembers the results of play, it monitors trends, and it will adjust how often it drops a prize based on the try versus win ratio to keep a consistent payout over time. It's worth mentioning that E-Lot cautions against making it too hard to win or too obvious that the game is about more chance than the skill. To quote the manual, our experience shows us that a payout percentage from 25% to 40% gives the best results. Now, to put that in perspective, Vegas casinos like to brag about payout rates in the high 90% range, so make your own judgment there. While this isn't a comprehensive look at all the different kinds of claw machines you'll find, I hope that I've at least answered the question of whether or not they're all rigged. If there's something I haven't covered, leave a comment below, and I'll try to fill in the gaps as best I can. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.